we went out that night on a field trip again, and in the canoes, and we were looking for anything. The one man in front stood up with a big searchlight, and he was looking for the caimans, the crocodiles. Well, he got a couple of them. The first one he got was about the length of his arm, from his fingers to his elbow. And then, after another trying, looking in this, he got a nice one, and that was, about 3 feet long. Now, I don't know how he got him, because he didn't get wet. I was in the back of the canoe, so I didn't get a chance to see how he did it. I think he just hypnotized him with the light, and then just reached in there and grabbed him behind the neck or something. I don't know. Anyway, we heard lots of sounds of the forest. And at 10 o'clock we were in bed. I'm telling you, it doesn't take long. You lay down and bingo, you're asleep. So the next day, now we're up to Sunday. There was no church. We got up at 6 o'clock and we went in the canoes again, and we're bird watching. And we're looking at the agapo, they call it, the vegetation. It's the flooded Blackwater forest. And we saw a little boy in a little tiny dugout canoe, and he's throwing a spear for fish. And he's throwing and throwing. And of course we're watching, and he was getting embarrassed because he couldn't hit anything. The spear would go in the water and then it floats so you can retrieve it. But his dad was chuckling. He was in a long canoe, and they sit way up in front, and this man had this long canoe, and he had a couple of heavy rocks in the back to hold it down. Otherwise, with his weight there, kneeling in the front, the thing would go underwater. But he had many fish, and they were all colors, all sizes. He had about 24. He'd speared them all, and he was holding them up and showing it to them, I mean, they were not huge fish, They were a few pounds, maybe three pounds, maybe 5 pounds was the biggest one. But it was what a variety. And they say that all the fish that go in the aquariums come from this river, well, not all, but let's say 90%, from the River Negre. They develop, because the water is so dark, they develop such beautiful colors so they can find their mates in the darkness of the water. How do you like that? So we having lectures on top of lectures. We had an aquatic life of the Amazon, the water in the river and how it comes in, and which way these things go and why this happens. And then we had a lecture on genetic resources in agriculture, about the small farmer and how he needs help to keep alive there, and he needs to replenish his soil. And then in the afternoon, we went in the canoes again, and we went to a wild beach of the river, and we went swimming there. And it's still this black tea. It looks like deep brown tea, and the water was nice and warm, and boy, everybody jumped in, and we had a wonderful time. It was really great. And then we saw thousands of martins migrating. Oh God, there was thousands of them. And we saw lots of green-headed parrots. They were all getting ready to nest for the night. We have 2 bird ladies with us. I mean serious ones. And this one gal saw 39 kinds of birds today and 40 new varieties since she came here. And in our canoes, Andrew was in one and Stephen was in the other. Stephen is his name. And they were each pointing and telling what it is. And we are beginning to recognize birds now by the flight and by their fast colors, even when they're moving up. Good. Stephen has his young wife with Veronica, and she's so cute. She was an English teacher, but she stopped, and she's going to school to learn more. Okay, the next day was Monday, and at 6:30 we were bird watching from the tower again, looking for these cockamamie birds all over. But it's fun to see them, and they're flying above the canopy of the jungle in some places, which is most interesting.